Welcome everyone. We're here. We have Crobat. I actually finished these. Well, Golbat and Crobat. We finished them, or not we. I finished them back a couple weeks ago. But figured. I'm not speaking good. I have figured. I figured. All right. I figured that now would be a better time to record it. All right. That's my point because Crobat is next up in the order for the decks. So first things first, I want to quickly address the fact that we've had 3 Ruthless mons in a row. This doesn't mean that every fucking Pokemon in the world is getting Ruthless. It's just a coincidence. There is a good amount of them, and there will be more, as you can see the list right here. But I guess it's one of the more common new abilities I made, that's for sure. But it doesn't change the fact that it's just kind of a misleading. This is kind of loud. Hold on. Actually, I'll just turn my volume down. That's gosh. All right, that's fine. So yeah, Ruthless is great on it, but that's getting a little sidetracked. Crobat. It wasn't bad. It's very reliable in base vanilla games because it evolved very early, and it was just pretty bulky and pretty reliable, and it was just a solid mon. But it lacked power, and it was just kind of mid. In a ROM hack, for example, it would be pretty mid. I've seen people give it Technician. I actually think Technician fits Crobat pretty well. I just think Ruthless is cooler because Technician really only has a few moves to abuse. Not many, if any, poison moves because actually I guess they would have Bar Barrage, which would be pretty powerful. And then they would have like Dual Wing Beat and stuff, and like Air Cutter and Sludge Shot and stuff. I don't know. It's just kind of eh. Ruthless is much stronger, and the offensive stats for Crobat don't make any sense to be over 100 in my opinion, just looking at their design. So I had to compensate a bit and give him a lot of other really, really powerful stuff, such as powerful moves, powerful powerful abilities. So yeah, Golbat is another viable Pokemon, as it always has been. I actually literally just changed that now. If you guys are familiar with the old changes, it was actually Frailer and had a minus 25 base stat total. But I realized that that was back before I started doing more and more Violet viable mons, because I used to be like, nah, Violet is only like the 5 months. Now it's like, okay, a lot of Pokemon are actually viable gem evolutions, like including all of the baby pseudos and stuff. So I was like, fuck it, may as well make Golbat one as well. So abilities. Ruthless I covered, or I will cover. Aerilate is also amazing. You have ability capsules, so you can infinitely switch between them. And then on Zubat and Golbat, you are not only much stronger on these two Pokemon, but you also have the ability Merciless, which is very, very useful. So what Merciless does is it makes your moves always crit. If they are poisoned, so you can use those with Bar Barrage and Toxic and Venom Drench, and you will always crit the opponent. Poison Fang has a 50% chance to poison, or Toxic Poison, so, and it's 75 base power, so you click, Merciless Poison Fang, and half the time you're getting a crit, the second time, whatever. Or you can just use Bar Barrage, which again is a 60 base power move, because it's 20 base power per hit, hits 3 times, and each hit will always poison, meaning that you basically, the first hit will poison. So it's always going to poison. So with Merciless, the second and third hit of Bar Barrage will always crit. So instead of 60 base power, Bar Barrage is essentially effectively 80 base power on Merciless sets, which is just as strong as Poison Jab and stronger than Poison Fang. So Bar Barrage is definitely worth keeping. And then on Aerilate sets, we have other really cool stuff, although Aerilate isn't as good early game as it is late game, because early game, you're really just using like Swift. Quick Attack is kind of Swift and Quick Attack, and then like Echoed Voice, and that's kind of it for a while. And then Commotion at 33 is a big deal. Rage is pretty nice too, but overall, like, you don't have that much good stuff until later with Aerilate, so you're going to be running Worthless for most of the early game, if I had to guess. Relentless is a trainer's only ability. It is Stakeout, so when the opponent switches out on Crobat, they will deal double damage because they are extremely quick, and their 95, 90 offenses are kind of on their own. So this makes Crobat a lot harder to fight when the opponent has it. Probably only boss trainers will have Ruthless Crobat. That goes for most of these most of these trainer exclusive abilities. All of these abilities will probably only be on boss fights just because it makes it less annoying to have to worry about them. Not that it's like overpowered, but it is very strong. So yeah, like a boss fight would probably have Relentless Crobat. That'll be a pretty common boss fight ability on Crobat. I'd say most of them will have Ruthless, but then of course, Relentless, but of course there's Ruthless and Aerilate, both of which are great. And again, infinite ability capsules, you switch between the two abilities depending on the situation that's in front of you. So Zubat is much quicker. Their animated sprite is like super quick looking, like that man is just flapping wildly. And it just fits. I mean, they're a tiny little bat, should be pretty fast. Golbat has the same speed as Zubat just because, they're both like fast bats, but then you have Crobat, who has an even better 145 base speed. So if you look at the speed tier guide, Crobat is the fastest, second fastest non-mega Pokemon. The fastest mega, a non-mega, is Electrode currently, and then the fastest non-mega is Crobat. Obviously, there'll be more. Obviously, then of course you have Mega Beedrill, Aerodactyl, and Pidgeot up here as well. But this will be updated as I add more and more mons. So trust me, it's going to get more crowded as time goes on, but doesn't change the fact that 145 base speed is still an amazing speed tier. So Crobat can really make use of a lot of things. Also, I may eventually, once I have all of the Pokemon changes done and I see all of the speed tiers, I'll probably be switching mons around. So say, for example, there's like 6 base 145 mons or something, and there's no base 146 or 147. I'd probably move Crobat up 1 or 2, just so that way it can speed creep the Pokemon in base 145. So I would count on myself doing that. So I'll just say that now, that it'll probably be outspeeding some of those. Maybe, I'm not sure. One of those mons will move up. And in exchange, I'd probably just drop, like, I don't know. I don't even know what I would drop, actually, so maybe I wouldn't do that, actually. Never mind, I don't have the stats to drop anything, honestly. I don't want to drop attack. Although it would make sense. Like, I don't even see 95 attack on Crobat, to be honest. All he has is to attack is his body and his wings, which, I guess they could be pretty sharp, and he does move fast, so he should be hitting pretty hard, but I don't see over 100 personally, so yeah. The main thing with Crobat is extreme utility, and then Ruthless turns his 95-90 offenses into significantly stronger stats. Significantly stronger. So with Ruthless, you have a lot of moves. With Ruthless, you have, and of course, the pre-evolutions have Merciless, which is also a great ability because you also have Toxic Spikes via TM. And Toxic Spikes, you click Toxic Spikes one single time, and as long as the opponent has no poison types, those are staying up the entire fight, unless they also have like a Rapid Spin on, because Rapid Spin gives +2 speed, so it's actually a pretty good move now for Pokemon to have. Otherwise, though, like, no trainers are going to run Defog or anything like that. It's just not worth a move slot, really, ever on the trainers, because they're limited move slots. Limited meaning, like, they don't have the customizability freedom that the player does. They can't team swap or counter team or, tailor their movesets to certain fights. They just have to have 4 moves that, take care of everything. So Defog is way too niche, or other hazard removal. But Toxic Spikes will stay up the whole fight, is my point. Meaning Merciless is great because you can get 1 layer of Toxic Spikes up, and then you're just Venom Shock critting the entire opponent, or you're just critting the entire team for free, which is really, really useful. Actually, potentially better than Merciless because you can better than Ruthless because you can run a boosting item. So Toxic Spikes into Merciless via TM is amazing, and the fact that it's a TM means you don't need to run Toxic Spikes all the time. You can just switch between the TM on and off. So back on topic, Ruthless Crobat. It has access to a lot of really powerful stuff. It has access to also, this is the last Ruthless one I didn't make a video for. Cool, because we have Haunter, which was like one of the second vids I did. Cool. Oh no, Nidoking. Sorry. How could I forget about my fucking boy Nidoking, man? Jesus. Fucking love Nidoking. I forget where I've done the left. I think I was just too lazy to reorder these mons. I'll do it real quick. Yeah, I'll have all the Kanto ones on this side, and then I'll put the other ones later. Yeah, I'll do this. Sorry, guys. So Ruthless is great. It becomes, so essentially with his Scope Lens, Crobat will always be critting Cross Poison, Psycho Cut, Night Slash, and Laceration, and I believe I also give them X-Scissor. I will check in 2 seconds. Let me just reorder these around a tiny bit better. Sorry, everybody. Okay, Nidoking. No, Beedrill, then Nidoking. No, Beedrill first. God, I am bad. Beedrill first, right? Pretty sure. Right? Let's check on that one. Nah, I already know. It's better than Beedrill. I'm not stupid. Come on. Go back to the bill. Ugh, now it's lagging. Come on. I should be doing this after the video. I'm sorry, guys. Got Furo right here. I cannot multitask, if you guys couldn't tell. I cannot multitask. Then Nidoking. Then Haunter, then Pinsir, then Kabutops, and the rest are Jotamons. There we go. That's much better. Jesus, I hate this sometimes. And now we move Furo down a tiny bit. Come on. There we go. And then we move Nidoking over a little bit. Make him a little tinier because he's kind of big. Put Haunter here, and then Pinsir, and then Kabutops. And then the Jotamons. Thank God. Ariados is first, sorry. And of course, there'll be more Johto Mons of Ruthless. This is just the current changes. All right, we are good now. So as I was saying, Ruthless becomes really powerful because you already have kind of offenses. Like, they're not bad. Like, it's strong, especially if you run like a choice item or something. And the main allure is your insane speed set and also a lot of great utility, which I'll cover. But again, cross poison, slash, night slash, laceration, psycho cut, and then I believe X scissor. Let's triple check on the X scissor though. Can I check, please? Game, thank you. Yeah, X scissor. So those are great. Then you have access to Finishing Blow, which is a 35 base power move. With Ruthless, it becomes 79 base power, and that gives you +3 attack when you kill something. And you have 145 base speed, so you best believe that that Finishing Blow is going to get you a lot of traction. You can also use Finishing Blow on extreme speed Aerilate sets, which is pretty cool. But you know, it's better with Ruthless, obviously, because it boosts the power of Finishing Blow. You have really powerful stab with Ruthless in Sky Attack, Razor Wind, and Aeroblast, all of which always crit. So Sky Attack and Razor Wind are 2-turn moves, so you use those with Power Herb. They are essentially, with Ruthless, they are 270 base power with Ruthless, so that's really strong. They're like absolute nukes, and they only need Power Herb. You don't even need to run a Z move. You can just run a Power Herb and boom. And they also have a 30% chance to flinch, so that's really great as well. Aeroblast is 65 base power, 100% accuracy. The only downside, I should probably make those 95%. They're really strong. I will, because I know they're cool, everybody, and they are really cool, but I've been worried about Heat Wave, Frost Breath, and Aeroblast for a little while now, because you can use like Cycle Boost or whatever type moves, and then spam those moves after, and it's just really, really strong. So I'm gonna make it 95%. Sorry, everybody. I know 95% is annoying, but I have to. I already made them 5 PP though. Heat Wave is reteachable though, and everything fucking gets it. I'm gonna make it 95 accuracy, guys. I will do that after this video. I'll remember because I'll have it open. If I forget, then I'm an idiot. It's fine. Also, Frost Breath and Heat Wave already had 95% accuracy, so like that's not even. All right, maybe they even had less actually. They might have had 90. Pretty sure it's 95 though. No, they were 90 actually. So technically, it's a quote unquote buff with the base power and then Anyways, off topic. So Ruthless. With Ruthless, you have Aeroblast and Heat Wave. Heat Wave is 65 base power. Aeroblast is 65 base power. Aeroblast is stab. With Ruthless, they become, and they're always critting. So despite being 5 base power weaker than like Cross Poison and Slash and Laceration, these always crit. So you don't need to run a Scope Lens. You can just run a Choice Specs. You can run Choice Specs Aeroblast and just completely melt Pokemon. Charizard has access to the same thing, and it actually gets stab on Heat Wave. But obviously Crobat is much faster and has way different typing and blah 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 blah, way different move pool and stuff. So trying to look at 65 times 2.25 is 146. So you have 146 base power, Aeroblast, and Heat Wave with Ruthless. You also have some other really cool stuff with Ruthless. Actually, I think that's it, right? First Impression as well by TM, which is just a nice option. Very powerful. All right, that's it for Ruthless. It's good. It's powerful. We all know what it does by now, I hope. Very, very good stuff. Very, very strong. It ignores Intimidate, so if they intimidate you, you just go boom. You know, you don't care about that. Or other stat drops as well, like stat dropping moves and whatnot. So that's great with Ruthless. With Aerilate, you have a lot of strong things. So early game, you have Swift, Quick Attack. Swift is +2 priority and 55 base power, so that becomes 66 base power with Aerilate, versus your Gust is only 45 and +1 priority, so Swift is like a pretty sizable, almost 21 base power stronger than Gust and +1 more priority, so definitely worth using there over Gust. Quick Attack becomes 60 base power and it's flying type. Obviously you don't need the priority, but it's there. You know, you could use it. Echoed Voice is very powerful to Aerilate. And then at level 33 you get Commotion. Commotion is 85 base power and becomes 102 base power with Aerilate, I believe. Yeah, no, 96. No, sorry. Yeah, 102, because it's 85 base power. So it's 102 base power flying type move that always confuses, which is really nice. Confusion having a 32% chance to hit yourself isn't the greatest, but it's there. It's nice, strong. Hyper Voice is and Retaliate are both 114 base power. Hyper Voice goes through subs and hits both. Retaliate is only 5 PP, but it doubles to 190 base power. So with Ruthless, that becomes 228 base power. Sorry, with Aerilate rather, that becomes 228 base power. So Aerilate, Retaliate is very powerful. You also have Rage, which is nice with Roost. Rage becomes 96 base power, and you get +1 attack each time you click it, as long as you got damage that turn. So that's really nice. You also have a very fast setup with Nasty Plot and Swords Dance. So again, given your speed stat, Nasty Plot and Swords Dance are both great setup moves. With your makes your offenses a lot better. You also have access to Hypnosis at 49 with a very high speed stat, and Hypnosis will. It's okay. What am I trying to say here? Crobat's sleeping moves are very quick, so most of the time you're only going to be getting 1 turn of sleep, because all of sleep moves now last guaranteed 2 turns, which is might sound like a nerf, but it's actually just a rebalance, and it's actually a buff because you know how long that Pokemon will be asleep for. There's no more first turn wake ups. You know for a fact that Pokemon will be asleep for 2 turns. So if you click Sleep Hypnosis on a Pokemon that you're faster than, you're only getting 1 turn to set up, because that first turn counts as a sleep turn. I know it's kind of confusing, but this is important. So say, for example, you're on a lead Pokemon, you put them to sleep right away because you're faster than them, and then you land that 80% accurate Hypnosis, or you run Wide Lens and make it 93, 15% of 80. Yeah, 92, sorry. 15% because Wide Lens is now 50% boost, so yeah. Yeah. What was I trying to say here? Hypnosis with Wide Lens is 92% accurate, otherwise it's 80% accurate. And if you land it, then you get 1 guaranteed turn of setup, assuming that you were faster than whenever you clicked it on, which you probably will be. So you get that 1 turn of setup, you get a free Swords Dance, you get a free Nasty Plot. I know it sounds, but that's free. That's completely free. As long as you land it, you get a huge advantage there. So and you can just go to town. You can start using Ruthless moves. You can use Nasty Plot with Ruthless Aeroblast and Ruthless Nasty Plot. So like Hypnosis, Ruthless Aeroblast, Ruthless Heat Wave is insane. You also have really strong, powerful stuff with Aerilate. So like I was saying, you have Rage. You also have Retaliate and Hyper Voice, and then you also have Giga Impact and Hyper Beam, both of which are now like Draco Meteor. So they are 160 base power, and they drop your stats by you drop your attack stat by 2, or special attack stat, obviously depending on which one it is. So those become 192 base power, and that's insane. That's already insane. And they only drop your special attack by 2 or the physical attack by 2. So it's not like you can't use it again, because the second use of Hyper Beam or Giga Impact is 96 base power with Aerilate. So like it's still really strong. You can use it twice in a row and just nuke things with those 2 moves, and they're 100% accurate. There's no downsides. Just really powerful moves, which is what they should be. So that's great. You also have you have good coverage, but I'll cover that in a little bit. You have extreme speed. You have slash critting half the time. With a scope lens on an Aerilate set. For example, you might not need the Ruthless boost, or you might want flying coverage on your crit moves. So say, for example, you're running a Ruthless Crobat, you have Cross Poison, Slash, Laceration, and Cycle Cut, whatever your moveset is, or X's, or whatever you need. Now you can change your ability to Aerilate and still run Scope Lens. You won't be getting that 50% Ruthless boost, but you will be getting a 50%, actually a 80% boost to your Slash, because Slash will gain Stab, and then it'll gain a 20%. So 50% on top of 20% becomes 80%. I know that math sounds like it doesn't work, but I'll literally prove it to you that it does. 70 times 1.5 from Stab times. Oh, sorry. Let me just show you this. 1.1 from 1.2. 1.8 is 80%. All right, that's how math works. It's weird, but that's what it is. So you're getting 80% boost to your slashes. So in exchange for not getting a 50% boost to your cross poison, you're getting 80% boost to slash. So all of those moves are really powerful, and you get that flying crit move because Aeroblast is obviously much later, and Sky Attack and Razor Wind are situational. Amazing, but of course they still require Power Herb, or you could just be a savage and use like a sleep move or something, and then click Razor Wind or something if you wanted to. I guess I don't know. That wouldn't really work that well, but you could pull it off. Actually, yeah, you could do that. You could sleep them, charge up the Razor Wind or Sky Attack, and then click it, and then it'll kill them if you want to do that. With Mesmerize, it's actually good. However, you only have 1 PP on Mesmerize, so I believe, right? Let me triple check. I might have given it to 3. We should all have 1. Yeah, I forgot that these sleep moves actually all need to have nerf PP. So let me actually write this in the notes on this sheet. 85%. I guess it's actually not that bad because Swords Dance and Nasty will only have 1 PP, so it's actually not that bad, but I'll still do this. I'll do Hypnosis, and these are going to actually change it on the sheets right after this video, but these are going to keep that 1 PP. These are going to have 3. Sorry, these are going to have 2. These are going to have 3. All right. I know it sucks, but it's needed because otherwise you can really just keep putting them to sleep over and over again and keep getting those boosts and whatever. But setup moves are also nerfed PP, so yeah. And of course you have access to infinite elixirs for after the battle, so don't worry about like running out of PP after the battles. You're mostly just doing that for in battle. That's mostly just so you can't spam stuff in game, in battles. Regardless, you have other really powerful stuff. Double Edge with Aerilate becomes 150 base power, 25% recoil, 50% chance to drop defense, and then at level 70, because you're a bat and they make echolocation sounds and stuff. I know it's kind of weird, but I think it fit well enough for Crobat, and I think it's really cool. Boom Burst, you have Aerilate Boom Burst on Crobat, so that becomes 150 base power because Aerilate Boom Burst is quote unquote nerfed, although it's given to way more Pokemon, so I wouldn't call it a nerf, but it is quote unquote nerfed to 125 base power, so 125 to 1.2 is 150. So you have a 150 base power flying type move with no drawbacks. So that's great at level 70, obviously. And then Aeroblast, Ruthless is very powerful. I should probably swap those two, honestly. I'm going to swap those two. Because Ruthless is overall better than Aerilate, in my opinion. Not overall, but... So let me type that into the chat as well. And then, all right, I typed that out for myself. So I'll do that all after this video. Right after this video, I have it typed out in my notes, so I will not forget to do that. Because it's in the live process right here, for real. Yeah, you have great coverage moves on Crobat. You also have, oh god, what happened? Ugh. That's please. You have, come on, man, really? There we go. You have Strength Sap, fast Strength Sap at that. So you have a really high speed stat, obviously, and then Strength Sap makes you much bulkier. So yeah, Crobat technically did lose bulk, just based, like, I just don't see him being this bulky. It just doesn't make sense to me. And of course, he needed the base stat total anyways for speed and offenses. So yes, I could have kept the 130 speed, but that's not as good. So it definitely appreciates the speed more than it does the bulk. So yeah, Mesmerize is 100% accurate sleep move at level 60, and then at level 58 you get Strength Sap. I might move that around a little bit, honestly, but like I don't know where to put it otherwise, so it's fine. You're really quick, so it's nice to have that 3 PP for Strength Sap, so you get 3 of those, and that will heal you very highly, and it'll also make you a lot bulkier. So that's that. You also have other utility like Whirlwind and Haze and Toxic and Scary Face and Screech, and Z Supersonic actually gives you +2 special attack. You also have Flail with Aerilate, which is really powerful with Endure sets. You can run like Endure Pataya Berry or Endure Endure Lychee Berry, which is Attack Berry. Endure plus Attack Berry plus Work Up. Sorry, plus Endure. What am I trying to say? Plus Flail, yeah. Sorry. So that's all good stuff there. You have coverage. So coverage. Bug type, Psychic type, coverage on both sides. Not both sides, sorry, but Bug type, Psychic type, Bug type on both sides, yes, but Psychic you only get physical coverage. I could have given them Psychic, I guess, but yeah, it's fine. So they have by TM Psychic Fangs, Fire Fang, Thunder Fang, and Ice Fang, which are great coverage. Heat Wave, obviously, by Tutor. Dual Stab, Steel with Laceration, and Steel Wing. Steel Wing boosts your defense by 1 at 60 base power. Always boosts defense by 1. That's great. You have Leech Life, Black Scissor, Signal Beam, U-Turn, Pressure Lunge, tons of Bug type coverage. Ice type with Icy Wind and Ice Fang. Electric with Thunder Fang. Heat Wave and Fire Fang for fire. Giga Drain for and Mega Drain for grass type. I really have to use the bathroom. I really have to pee. So actually, I mean, I basically covered everything. They have amazing fighting type coverage with takedown and focus blast, which is really important. So like fighting and fire coverage, for example, is really important for their stab coverage, like to cover their stab weaknesses. Like what you know what I'm trying to say, right? Whatever they don't hit with their stab, those two will probably cover it most likely. You also have Natural Gift, which becomes any type in the game. For the only downside is it's only once, and you also take up an item slot. So for using an Akaberry, for example, well, not Knockin' Berry, that's not a good example. For using a Yachi Berry, you'll get a 110 base power ice move with Natural Gift, and it's special. So with Nasty Paw set, that's great. I think that's about it. Not too much else to cover. Powerful Stab. Menace Shock with Merciless is very powerful in the early game sets with the Merciless Golbat. You can also use, I haven't talked about a Violet Golbat yet, but it's there. It's bulkier, much bulkier than Crobat, and it is also almost as strong as Crobat. And Merciless is also very situationally better than Ruthless because, again, of the Toxic Spikes shenanigans I talked about earlier in the video. Toxic Spikes plus Merciless is great. So if you like Golbat, I actually prefer Golbat's design over Crobat, so I would probably try making this work, but eventually I'd probably need Crobat. This is not one of the best. This is one of the less good Violet Mons compared to all of the other ones, but it's still a good option, and it is, again, significantly bulkier than Crobat. So if you need that bulk and you don't need the speed, and you want Merciless instead of Ruthless, then there you go. And it still gets all these, I actually have to do that as well. Aha, because this used to not be in a Violet Mon, so I have to put all of the moves past level 31, or in this case now 32. Give Golbat moves past 31 because he is a Violet Mon. All right, that's about it though. You got Fast Taunt, Fast Parting Shot, all kinds of great stuff. Very, very solid mons. Also Ghost coverage. I'm gonna put in Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you got something out of this. Thanks, everybody.